Ready? Thank you. Good morning. Today is May 30th, 2024. It's approximately 9:30 a.m. This is the matter of an appeal of a denied application Z0496-23. My name is Carl Cox. I'm a private attorney appointed by Clackamas County as land use hearings officer with authority to conduct this hearing and make a determination in this matter. This is a quasi-judicial land use hearing, which means two important things for those participating in this hearing. First, all of the criteria that can be used in reaching a decision have been identified in the staff report. Testimony, arguments, and evidence must be directed towards the criteria identified in the staff report or other relevant criteria found in the comprehensive plan or other land use regulation that the person believes applies to the decision. Accordingly, please direct your testimony to a relevant approval criterion. Second, failure to raise an issue accompanied by statements or evidence sufficient to afford the decision maker and the parties an opportunity to respond to the issue may preclude an appeal to the Oregon Land Use Board of Appeals on that issue. Failure of the applicant to raise constitutional or other issues relating to proposed conditions of approval with sufficient specificity to allow the local government or its designee to respond to the issue precludes an action for damages in circuit court. Once final, this decision may be appealed to the Oregon Land Use Board of Appeals. I've not received any ex parte contact in this matter. I have downloaded and received the exhibits that were publicly posted to the county's website on this file. I noted that the applicants had an opportunity to review that as well. I have considered issues of bias and conflict of interest and have determined I do not have any bias or conflict of interest in this matter. The county is making a record. That record's available through the county, and prior to ending the hearing or closing the record in this matter, I will make a statement affording the participants an opportunity to request that the record stay open, and so I'll handle that later. At this time, asking that the county provide an explanation concerning participation via the Zoom platform.
Sure, thank you. This public will be conducted virtually using the Zoom platform. Panelists for today's hearing, which include the hearings officer, county staff, and the applicant, have both audio and video capability. Audience members who have joined the meeting will have their microphones muted unless they wish to testify, in which case they will be called upon to do so by the county staff moderator. Audience members' video will not be turned on at any time. Today's hearing is being recorded as required by law. The county will make every effort to post the recording on the county website later today. There is a designated time during the hearing when it will be open for testimony. The hearings officer will make it clear when this is. If you want to provide testimony, you will utilize the raise hand feature. For attendees on PC and iPad, you have a raise hand button on your Zoom bar, either at the top or bottom of your screen, depending on your device. When the moderator switches you over to provide testimony, your screen will look different for a little while. Primarily, you will see all participants' cameras, not just the one who's speaking. Staff will call upon you when it is time for you to provide testimony. Be sure to provide your name and mailing address when you begin. Once you've provided your testimony, your microphone will be muted and your screen will be returned to normal. If the record is left open at the end of this hearing and you wish to submit additional written testimony, you can email that written testimony to myself at mlord@clackamas.us, or you can mail it to Clackamas County Planning and Zoning at 150 Beaver Creek Road, Oregon City, 97045. My contact email address is also available on the webpage where you found the link for today's hearing. Testimony must be received by 4 p.m. on the day that the record closes. People who testify and provide their mailing address will receive a copy of the hearings officer's written decision. If you do not wish to testify, but would like to receive a copy of the decision, you must provide your email or standard mailing address to myself at mlord@clackamas.us, or you can enter it into the Zoom chat function during the hearing.
Thank you. The order of proceedings will be, I'll ask the county to begin with a presentation of the county staff report, followed by an opportunity for the applicants to present evidence that the applicants want me to consider as well. Ms. Lord.
Thank you. I will go ahead and share my PowerPoint. There we go. So today we are meeting for the appeal of land use file Z0496-23, which was an application for a dwelling in conjunction with farm use. The property in question is about 40 acres in size and is on the west side of Harding Road, just north of Springwater Road. The property is zoned exclusive farm use. The site itself has a mixture of soil types. Predominantly, though, those soil types are considered high-value farmland soils. The applicant has requested, or the proposal that the applicant has put forth is to develop one single-family home on the northeastern corner of this property due to earning income from the sale of farm products on the property. The applicant largely complied with nearly all of the review criteria, with the exception of one, which I'll describe in further detail in my presentation today. My initial decision was denial of the application, and that decision was appealed on April 22nd. So as I mentioned, almost all of the application did comply with the review criteria with the exception of one. The particular criteria that staff found the application did not comply with was this one, and I'll just quote it here. The subject tract is currently employed in farm use on which the farm operator earned at least $80,000 in gross annual income from the sale of farm products in each of the last 2 years, 3 of the last 5 years, or in an average of 3 of the last 5 years. So the applicants here in this case have requested the review of an application to demonstrate that they've earned at least $80,000 of gross annual income from the sale of farm products on this property for the last 2 years was the particular criteria they looked at. This application was submitted in 2023. And so we were looking at income earned on the property for 2021 and 2022. The applicants provided a copy of their IRS Schedule F tax form, which is the form submitted for profit or loss of farming for both the years 2021 and 2022. In addition, they also provided pictures of Christmas trees on the property. And so the farm crop grown on this site and being sold for profit is Christmas trees in this case. Here's just a portion of each of the Schedule F forms, just so we can take a look at generally what I'm talking about here when I reference the forms. They are in the record, and so you can see the whole. You can see the whole form if needed. To make it a little bit more clear, the particular issue that I found with these Schedule F forms in 2021. It does show here that under the line item for sale of purchased livestock and other resale items, they've reported $85,000, which is greater than the $80,000 gross income requirement for that year. It does show up on the line item of sale of purchased livestock and resale items rather than sale of livestock, produce, grains, and other products. But nonetheless, it is documented here that it's over the $80,000 minimum requirement. In 2022, however, the IRS form submitted in that same line item for the sale of purchased livestock and other resale items shows $77,300 of income earned. Further down, though, on the form under line 8, there's the line item category says other income, including federal and state gasoline tax credit or refund, where an additional $7,200 was being reported. The line item here with the $77,000 income is less than the $80,000 income requirement for the sale of farm products on the property. I found that other income, which can include federal or state gas tax credits or refunds, is not the same or not akin to income earned from the sale of farm products, and therefore cannot be counted towards the minimum $80,000 requirement of the sale of farm products. For that reason, my decision was to deny the application for lack of evidence that at least $80,000 of farm product sales has been earned in the year 2022. Up until this point, I haven't seen any new documentation or information from the applicants, and so my recommendation still is for a denial of the application.
Just a moment. No further info. Therefore. All right. I'd like to provide the applicants an opportunity to talk about their appeal here, to present evidence and argument concerning your position that it shouldn't have been denied.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. My name's Jason Franich, and obviously we are the ones appealing this matter. We were waiting for a document from our CPA prior to Melissa's denial, which we were not able to provide because it was very close to tax season. So we have the sufficient evidence that we need to provide you guys with the line item of what the $7,200 was for and why it was calculated or put into, I believe it was line 8 or 9 of the Schedule F. We just received it yesterday, unfortunately. There's a way that we could either share or present or upload that document to you guys. We'd be happy to do so.
You can, here, I'm going to just make a statement. Does any party or member of the audience want an opportunity to provide additional evidence, arguments, or testimony? That would include written evidence. Does the applicant wish to waive the period for a final written argument? What this means is you have an opportunity to request that the record of this hearing stay open for you to submit additional written information, including the information from your CPA that you want to submit to be considered by me and before I make a decision here. There is a 7-day period is minimal. I can also reduce that at your request, but I can keep it open for a minimum of 7 days, providing an opportunity for the county to respond, and that response could be either a rebuttal or a change in recommendation here, with you having a last word period of 7 days. So 7 days is typical that I would leave the record open for you to submit that additional material for me to consider, providing it directly to Ms. Lord, who will have then an opportunity to review and respond to it. And she'll provide you with any copy of any response that she submits to me. And then based upon anything you receive from Ms. Lord, you could respond to her by saying, you know, we're done. We think that we've provided what we want the hearings officer to consider, and we agree with her recommendation. If you disagree with her response to what you've submitted, you have a last word period where you can submit that final written argument to me, and I will consider that as well. Did I fairly explain it? What do you think?
I think so.
Okay. So did you want to talk about it or just submit a written argument for me to consider, providing that to Ms. Lord, and she'll respond? And at that time, when you receive her response, you can decide whether or not you want to submit a last word to me or submit an email to Ms. Lord would be sufficient to ask that you waive that last period. I can't do it until afterwards, and I know that.
Sure.
So I'm making sure you understand that it's completely and wholly within your power whether or not that last third week happens. Okay.
Sure. I don't see any reason to talk about it if we're not able to submit it, since there's nothing really you guys can view unless I share the screen. But yeah, it sounds like it needs to be viewed.
Just submit it.
Oh, I didn't know if that was
Submit
something
it.
that we can
There's
do.
no reason not to.
Okay, so you want to definitely keep the record open, is what I hear Ms. Frenich say. Yes? But
Jason, are you
can
able to
also talk
share?
about it. If you can share it,
Yeah.
we can talk about it.
Yeah,
You should be able
Yeah,
to share
okay,
your
absolutely.
screen.
Yeah.
yeah. No, I can. I just wasn't sure if, yeah, I can definitely do that. Moment here.
And in any case, the record is open until 4 p.m. today. So if we are able to view it and see it, and you could submit it by 4 p.m. today, then I could work ahead. I could go ahead and open it.
You know if that's
Yes, you
there. Okay.
ah,
So it's like to go very slow here. Oh no. Everybody's
So
still
as
able to
Jason
see it.
mentioned, this was what we were trying to get from our CPA to explain
okay.
what actually came to surprise to us as well on that form and why they categorized it that way. We weren't able to get it by April 11th because he was right in the middle of tax season. And we didn't end up extending for that reason. We kept thinking we were going to receive this and didn't. So now we have the piece that we needed for Melissa, and that's what Jason's sharing right now.
Okay. So I see your I see a cover letter.
Yes, sir.
But it doesn't show what.
If I may, they're referencing the 1099,
Okay.
which is here. I don't know if I'm able to zoom that. I apologize. I'm in a different computer. But this is, these are the two documents, the cover letter, and then in conjunction, it's been whited out for privacy purposes because of the meeting being public, but
I would not want your social security number posted on the internet. No.
yeah.
So it was basically a mistake on the CPA's part on it being categorized from what I understand in that section, and it should be under the same category as it was in 2021. 2022, there was a different tax prepper and they separated this 1099 out. So what he's explaining is that without redoing our taxes, this is what it was referencing, and it was the sale of farm products. I don't know if you can zoom in and actually see what he wrote there.
If I open this in a different program, we could zoom in, but I don't know if you guys need me to do so.
Or read it to you. We could maybe read it.
Is it blurry? I apologize. I cannot see how small it is on your end.
On my end, it's readable with glasses, but it's pretty small. I don't know on the others.
I have exactly the same answer. I can read it with my glasses on, but I have them on. So I'm just leaning in a little bit, that's all. Can you scroll down to the 1099 again? I wanted to see,
Sure.
what does that say? It says rent, but that's really typical. Next
Rent.
page.
Oh,
A 10, see, that's harder to see.
And
trying to
that's
get this
showing the
different.
dollar amount of the purchase that is reflected in the Schedule F that she's had PowerPoint presented.
in box number 1, where it does have the income, is that the box that says rent?
Yes.
It looks like it. Yes, it's hard for me to zoom in too. Sorry, it's on a very small screen.
And it has, who's the payer on this?
It's been whited out. I don't know if I'm able to post that. This is what's been provided to us here. I'd have to pull
One
up
of
the
the key
tax
buyers is
returns
my understanding.
itself. Yeah.
Oh, go down a little further.
Okay.
Right. It's whited out for the payer. Who is the payer on this?
Lone Oak Farms.
Lone Oak Farms is payer. Okay. Did you have any questions, Ms. Lord?
No, I mean, it would just, I can do my own research, I guess, of why it's under the rent category. I don't know enough about this form to understand that.
Okay. So is there a request to keep the record open by the applicant or the county here?
I mean, yeah, I think that we should keep it open. We're not sure why certain things were put that way either. We just know that we met the criteria and that's what we
Okay.
had submitted originally. So we're trying to work through the kinks.
I want to make sure that
Unless it's accepted. Oh,
that
sorry.
in your appeal, that you know, have a full opportunity to submit everything that you want me to consider. So if you have a more detailed explanation concerning this, you could submit that along with the exhibit that you just shared. So I will keep the record open here. It seems like you're asking for 7 days. And that implies also that carries with it a rebuttal period, like I discussed, so an additional 7 days. Are there any questions about that?
I think if you said it closed by 4, I don't know what the difference would be.
Okay.
And if there can be, you know, an acceptance or if Melissa has enough time or who needs additional time. We don't necessarily, if it's not being, you know, denied, I don't know where that fine line lies.
I don't know.
So maybe Melissa would be able to answer if she needs that additional time or to review.
Well, yeah, it's ultimately, it's not my decision today, is the hearings officer's decision. So I can review and respond to any new evidence that's submitted within, you know, the timeline I have. That's fine.
By 4 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's fine for me. I just want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity here. I don't want to see that I close the record at 4 p.m. today and then you receive a response from Ms. Lord and has an argument that that this is not farm income, and I'll sort it out and I'll make a final decision on that. But I want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to be fully heard. Okay, that's it. So.
Jason, I mean, yeah, I guess if it's kind of like a safety barrier to have the 7 days just in case, that might be the better option. And I guess I was just wondering for you, Carl and Melissa, if today by 4 was enough time to review this.
It's enough for me, but
Yeah,
it's
okay. Because it seems like that
I'm-
was the explanation that was needed originally that we just couldn't get by that April 11th deadline. Because, you know, they had too much going on. So
all right. So the answer is the record will close at 4 p.m. today. Have we reached that?
Jason, is that final?
I don't know what's going on with my video. I'm sorry, but
It looks like you're sitting back a little bit from your camera.
yeah, I don't know what happened here.
It's a little blurry.
If we may ask the question, if Melissa finds that there's not sufficient evidence and she, if I may, Melissa, if it's denied, at that point, do we have until 4? If she puts that in at 3:59, what does that mean for us?
I can't change that. I mean, I need a request before I close the record.
You
Really?
still have the 1 week final argument period where you can summarize what's already been submitted and without providing new evidence
That's
or
the,
information, respond, write a final argument as to why you've found that you provided enough evidence that supports your application. That's still very much, that's not going away if you close the record today at 4 or in a week from now.
Okay.
So that's still an option. It's just what you're doing is removing any ability to provide new evidence
right.
and new information, if you could, until 4 p.m. of whatever day the record closes.
So how it works is that the first week of a open record period would be a period of a minimum of 7 days to submit new evidence in support of your position. Then the second week is a rebuttal period where evidence can also be provided to rebut evidence provided during the first week. That third week that Ms. Lord is referencing can also just be the last word here. So it could stay open for 7 days, but there's no new evidence submitted during that period because there's no opportunity for anyone to rebut it. So
the documents today
I'll consider
they
like your advocacy. If you disagree with what Ms. Lord's response is and you just want to advocate for your position, then you can do that during your final word and you can say why she's wrong. But I won't consider new evidence like a new something that wasn't introduced at the hearing. Okay. I know it's hard when you don't do this every day.
Yeah.
right.
So based on the form you showed on your screen, like I said earlier, I don't know enough about this miscellaneous 1099 form to understand why tree sales is showing up as rent, but that's research I'll just have to do once you submit that to me, and then I'll respond accordingly to the best of my knowledge. But
Roger that. And do we email that to you, or how do we make that a part of
yeah, you'll email that directly to me.
Okay. We can do that today, and I believe that there wouldn't be any reason, unless Cassie, you object, that we can close it today.
Okay.
No, yeah, I think that should be fine.
All right.
Unless we need to like redo the taxes or something because it was categorized incorrectly, rather than purchase of trees, something else was on there that, made them do the taxes differently than the prior year.
Sure.
I think we have enough. I mean, that's the clarification on that.
Okay, so the record will close today at 4 p.m. So I'm looking for Ms. Lord to submit her PowerPoint by then, and I'm looking for Cassandra and Jason Franich to submit their additional exhibit. Ms. Lord will label the exhibit and post it to, or have it posted to Excella. Then you'll have 7 days to receive and review any response that Ms. Lord chooses to submit, and you'll have an opportunity to have a last word about that. Okay? And I'll make a decision after I receive all of this.
Thank you.
Any questions?
I don't think so.
Nice to meet you, and
Nice to meet you too.
enjoy your day. And I'll
Thank
close
you.
the screen,
You as
keeping
well.
records open as discussed till 4 p.m. today, and to receive a last word by Thursday. What is that Thursday? calendar here somewhere.
The 6th, I'm just throwing that out there.
Thursday, this June 6th. All right, Thursday, June 6th by 4 p.m. Okay.
Great.
All right, and if you want to waive that last word period, send an email to Ms. Lord, and so I can get busy deciding your appeal. All right?
All right.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Take care.